Hello out there in internet land. This is episode 30. Episode 30 of Stop the Damn Match, the your mum's 255th favourite wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Sitting to my left is JB. How you going?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit tired, but good. And seated to my right is Dr. Seamus. How you going, mate?
Not too bad. A little tired, but not bad.
Yep, same as me. Right, so we just finished watching night 2 of WrestleMania 40. What a spectacle this show has been, both nights.
Yeah, it has been storytelling at its finest.
Yeah, it's been a great show, both nights. Even the Hall of Fame was worth a really good watch. And the build for this WrestleMania has been possibly the best build for WrestleMania in years.
Oh, the best build easily of the last decade. Like, I don't think we've had a build this good to Mania since, God, maybe just after the Attitude Era. It's been storyline. And considering this build started at last year's WrestleMania, it's by far the best build to a Mania for easily 10-15 years.
For me, the last WrestleMania that had a really good, really solid build was WrestleMania 36. Unfortunately, it ended up being done in the Performance Center during the pandemic with no one.
Yeah, that was sad.
Because that really deserved to have an audience for it. I mean, you had Drew and Brock Lesnar for the belt. It was supposed to be Goldberg and Roman Reigns, but due to COVID and with Roman's
leukemia,
his shattered immune system, so it became Braun Strowman versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
And you had The Undertaker's final ever match against, which was the Boneyard match with AJ Styles. I'm
sort of glad that went that way.
Yeah.
I don't think a physical in-person match would have been as good.
No, not at all. So, we're going to get straight into it. Got the first match, which was for the WWE Women's World Championship. Champion Rhea Ripley was defending against Becky Lynch, who had won the Elimination Chamber in Perth.
This is night 1, by the way.
This is night 1. Yes. We're starting from night 1. So it's worth mentioning that Becky Lynch has had strep throat all week. Yeah,
she was the walking wounded this week.
So she was a bit walking wounded, yes. But towards the end of the match, Becky hit a superplex and then floats over into the disarmer, which was very, very cool move.
Yes.
Then they went outside and Rhea Ripley hit an electric chair drop on the outside.
Impressive.
Rhea Ripley hit a frog splash. But eventually Rhea Ripley hits a riptide into the corner and then hits her with a very forceful riptide to bring the pinfall and the win. JB, what would you give that match out of 5, mate?
Yeah, 3 out of 5, mate. I thought it was solid. I was on edge a little bit because there was the very real chance that they'd be lazy and drop the belt back to Becky for no reason at all. And glad they didn't.
Sorry, you told me you were edging for Rhea?
I was edging for Rhea. Like usual.
How many years have you been sitting there calling her a lesbian, though?
Most of her early career, and actually a lot of her career.
Shay, what would you give it?
I'll give this one a 4. It was a pretty damn solid women's match. I quite enjoyed it. Rhea's always fucking good in the ring, no matter what. Becky, she's really hot and cold. apparently she was really hot with the fever, so... But you
And
get
Philly was chilly, baby.
fucking Cole the weatherman, apparently. But I very much enjoyed it. It was good, but you could tell that Becky was not 100% in that match.
Yeah, Becky's matches lately have been very, I don't know, average.
Very methodical. Sort
Yeah,
of.
or just samey.
Yeah, going through the routine sort of thing, yeah.
Right, so we also have 2 foreign correspondents. Unfortunately, one of them was a bit crook, so she's only sent occasional scores for it. But so that's Beck. Sent some scores through. She's a bit crook with a cold or something. Wimp.
Strap throat. Becky Lynch can wrestle a match. You can give me some damn scores.
But our other foreign correspondent, Cory, Plastic Massacre, he sent through some notes. So here's what his notes are. First thing was, what the fuck is she wearing? She looks like she turned a swan inside out.
I'm assuming that's Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to Rhea Ripley, he's like, so sick she got motionless and white in to play the intro. His next comment is, I've heard more about strep throat here than I ever had when I had it.
True.
He says, get her a strepsil, she's going down. Starting to feel like a gynecologist, the amount of camera time spent on their fucking junk. I'm not hearing a complaint.
No one complains.
I'm not hearing a complaint here. I want to see the 10-minute coughing spree this bitch has after.
Oh, yeah. She'd be sore inside. She'd be on the old chicken soup after that.
The lesbian totem pole.
Fair enough.
And finally, he said that was a pretty sick match, and he gave it 4 out of 5.
I tell you what, the lead singer of Motionless in White looks so much like Rhea Ripley. I thought it was Rhea Ripley singing her own entrance
So
song.
did I.
I'm still trying to figure out if it's a dude or a chick. I think it might be a dude. I'm not sure.
Well, Beck gave it a 3.5. She said it was a bit rushed, the match.
Eh.
For me, I gave it a 4. I thought it was a really great opening for the entire of WrestleMania, if you don't count the pre-shows. There was plenty of drama in the match, but there was enough action and enough drama in the match, but not enough to drain the crowd. Like, it wasn't like when Taker lost to Brock Lesnar and just all the air got sucked out of the building for the next half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the better choice to have Rhea Ripley go over.
Yeah, absolutely.
She is, and I don't mean this in terms of look, I mean in terms of momentum. She is the hottest women's wrestler today.
She has got all the momentum. It was 0 cents to put the belt on Becky, momentum-wise, but I was still worried that they'd do it.
I mean, the only women's wrestler...
But if that's the first indication that Vince McMahon is gone forever, that's it.
Well, the only other women's wrestler that seems to have the same momentum as Rhea Ripley at the moment is Mercedes Moné over in AEW. And to be honest, I feel like AEW has slightly fumbled the fucking ball yet again with that.
Yeah, they do have a track record of.
So, but yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. So we're moving right along to the 6-pack Tag Team Ladder Match Challenge for the undisputed tag team titles. And if you wanted to walk out of there as the undisputed tag team champions, you had to retrieve both sets of titles to win.
Yeah, 2 separate sets of titles.
So the tag teams that were in it was DIY, which was Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, doing their best DX impression. There was the Awesome Truth, which was The Miz and R-Truth. The New Catch Republic, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. A-Town Down Under, which is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Yeah, flog. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and the Judgment Day, the current undisputed tag team champions of Finn Balor and Miss Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. My notes in this say that old R-Truth was absolutely hilarious in this match.
Comedy gold.
Like he at one point he was on the ring apron wanting Miz to tag him in, even though it's not that type of tag team match.
Shimmy which obliged.
And then he got tagged in and he started doing John Cena's entire moveset and shtick.
He did the hot tag, the John Cena hot tag. It was pretty well done.
And so R-Truth was just hilarious. The first tag team to pull down a set of tag titles was A-Town Down Under, who pulled down the SmackDown tag team titles.
Slightly surprising.
And then straight after that, Grayson Waller got put through a ladder. So that took them out. DIY did a little tribute to the Dudley Boys with the Get the Tables spot. But after a whole bunch of kerfuffle and a whole bunch of awesome stuff that I didn't write down because the Awesome Truth retrieved the Raw tag team titles, which means now the tag titles are split back up again with a SmackDown and a Raw tag title. The Awesome Truth get the Raw tag titles. Shay, what were your thoughts on El Macho?
I very much enjoyed this match. It's one of my favourite matches of both nights. Just non-stop action. It reminds me of the good old TLC days, but more hectic because you've got more people. There's 12 people there. There's a lot of action. Ciampa looks like Triple H from the back. Prove me wrong. Literally, looking at both from the back of the head, they look the exact same.
He definitely does.
But fucking R-Truth is comedy gold, and I'm glad that he's still in the company and he stays in the company. Like, that was a good choice to put it on. Gold. What is it?
Awesome Truth.
Awesome Truth. Golden Truth. But no, it was quite nice, very entertaining. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 easily.
JB?
Yeah, 4 out of 5, man. Non-stop action, bit of comedy, some unexpected champions too. I think both teams that took home the belts were not high on my. They would have been long odds if you were allowed to gamble on wrestling, which I think you are. But they were long odds, so I like a couple of surprise champions. Yeah, you know, everyone played their part. You know, Pete Dunne was being his crazy self, and people were going through tables and ladders left, right, and center. It was awesome. Yeah, very entertaining.
Bec gave it a 3.5. Corey's notes. This is always the hoot part of it. He called it the 6-team fucking fight stuff match.
Yeah.
R-Truth is having so much fun. Wheatley vodka. So nice, I drink it twice. Also a whole bottle. WWE need to stop holograms. They're so fucking shit. In reference to the Judgment Day, 2 purple sex offenders just entered the ring. The airplane spot. Stop spinning, he's already dead. R-Truth is still having the best time. When it comes to A-Town Down Under, he says, having those 2 wombats win the tag team was actually pretty great. And he goes, use the fucking Prime bottles at least. Because there was the trolley of Prime bottles at the side of the ring. And he said, this is the most fun I've had with wrestling since 2006. This was incredible and a massive heart. And he's gone into Dave Meltzer territory here. He's given it 6 stars at the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, wow. Wow. He's done it.
He's Dave Meltzered it.
You know my favourite part of that whole thing?
It ended?
Well, no. That bisexual Undertaker has been trending on Twitter for the last 2 days because of Damian Priest.
Oh, God. So, my thoughts. I haven't laughed so hard in a match before. Like, R-Truth was just stack hat funny. He was so funny you needed to wear a helmet because you might crack your head against something. You're laughing so hard. There were so many tributes like DIY's DX, R-Truth doing John Cena. Everyone had amazing spots and really put their all into this match. I gave it 5 out of 5.
It was a good match.
Yeah, that really was just the creme de la creme. So the next match was Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. So towards the end of the match, Rey does his usual thing of he hits a splash and Rey and Andrade win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Corey's notes now.
Here we go.
Okay, Dominic versus Rey. Siri, turn off holograms. Rey coming out dressed in a fresh summer salad wasn't on my bingo card. Dom looks like my drain after shaving my balls. I love that my man Carlito is just hanging out. Andrade is electric. 10 minutes in and still no apple from Carlito. The Philly Eagles help a grown Mexican beat his child. He gave it 4 out of 5.
Forgot about the Jason Kelsey assist.
You know, I don't watch NFL, so I don't know who he is. I only know him because...
His brother is dating Taylor Swift.
Oh, no, not even that. I only know him because I listened to Undertaker's podcast, and he mentioned him. He was talking about what he's going to do now that he's retired or whatever.
Yeah.
And how he's like, oh, you know, he's such a great player and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
He is a great player.
Well, I'll do my notes now. So I thought it was a solid match. I thought maybe went for a bit too long. And I think there was maybe too many people involved in the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gave it 3.5. JB?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I don't know. I think I expected more dirty shit from Dom. I wanted him to be like a proper dirty heel towards his dad. He didn't really reach those heights. And then we had to end the match with Jason Kelsey powerbombing, or, you know, slamming some people, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I feel like I expected more heel shit from Dom that I didn't get to see. But and Carlito just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah, it was just...
Sorry, you go.
That was just an extreme waste of Carlito.
Yeah, Carlito should have been in the match, honestly.
I was 100%...
I would have been way more invested if it was Rey Mysterio and Carlito.
Yeah, I was 100% expecting Carlito to turn on Rey sometime during this match because he chose Andrade randomly instead of Carlito, who's there.
Just standing there being... he's in the best shape of his fucking life.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there being a big, bulky fucking cheerleader.
Yeah, and the fact that they are making it obvious that Carlito's not happy. Like, you can see that his facial expressions are just like, what the fuck sort of thing, or just like plain out not happy like the rest of them.
Yeah.
So I do think that they're kind of leading into a storyline where he turns on Rey, and then
Good.
They have
He needs to be a singles guy again.
100%.
A singles face.
The LWO just ain't doing it for him.
A singles face, man, because people eat it up.
Shay?
Yeah, this match kind of fell flat a bit for me. Like, it was fun, yeah, but I just couldn't get into it, really. It was one of the weaker matches of both nights. I'll give this probably a 3. It was very meh. Like, it was... The interference is cool and all, but that was kind of too much of a good thing.
Yeah, look, for me... This is going to sound really horrible, but I think it's time for Rey Mysterio to call it a day. His matches are starting to become very formulaic, and it's just the same rinse and repeat routine, you know? And it's time for guys like Dragon Lee, Santos, and Andrade to take up the mantle. And if those guys can't do it, then Trips needs to bring over Penta El Zero and Rey Fenix. Because I think those are the two guys that could take up the mantle of Rey Mysterio.
The Lucha Brothers.
Yeah. And Bec gives it a score of 3 because she didn't give me a score, so I'll just give the law of averages. The next match was main event Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. After sitting through a super kick party that honestly was the most boring shit ever, Jey hits a splash and Jey Uso wins and puts us out of our misery. JB, you want to go first on this one?
How the fuck do you have a storyline that's been going as long as Roman Reigns' title reign, with all the drama and all the emotion and even the video package of you and your brother growing up together, and then you proceed to have the worst match, one of the worst fucking matches. That match is on par with Goldberg-Lesnar WrestleMania 20.
Oh, shit.
Just
Damn.
fucking dog shit, abysmal. No creativity, no fire, no emotion. Fucking nothing. You had the floor. Your literal dream that you said in the Roman Reigns documentary was to wrestle your brother at WrestleMania, and you got the chance with this massive storyline and this massive push, and you went out there and you did 3 fucking super kicks.
Each.
And fucking a splash, and that's all you could give me. You fumbled the fucking ball, boys. 1 out of 5.
Shay?
I'm with Johnny on this one. It was very weak considering both of those guys we know are pretty solid, at least in tag team matches. But Jey, pretty solid. And he's decent. He's got a decent amount of crowd behind him. You know, he got naturally over with people. But Jimmy just doesn't have anything going for him. He doesn't have any charisma like his brother does. And he's just doing the opposite of what fucking Jey does. No yeet. Oh, look, that's fucking original. Like, come on. They need to come up with something for him to do other than being Roman's lackey. Now that... We'll get to that. But, Jesus Christ, they need to do something about that. The brother versus brother thing, don't get me wrong, cool idea. But unlike the other brother versus brother matches that we've seen, Brett and fucking Owen...
And it's not like they didn't have anything to build on.
Yeah,
they had probably the best story since maybe Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah, they had multiple years.
They had 2-year build-up of in the bloodline, out of the bloodline, in the bloodline, out of the bloodline.
Yeah, and then just
they had the fucking platform, and they fucked it.
And they just had a boring match that could be on fucking Raw.
That could have been the fucking main event of SmackDown.
Yeah.
And no one would have batted an eye.
They needed to have some more star power, some more, like, something different out of what their normal repertoire has, rather than just doing same old shit. That's the start of it. I'll give it that was actually decent. You know, it was full on, and you had that big fight feel to it.
And then it fizzled after about 10 minutes.
And then they just pulled
and
out.
They started doing the fucking super kick party. I'm like, what the fuck he's doing?
Yep, just like, let's do the same shit we always fucking do. Like,
back into the fucking tool bag of tricks, which apparently isn't that fucking deep.
Yep. I give this, like a 2 at most. That's being generous.
Right, well, Bec did send a score for this. And I can't believe I'm going to say this score. She gave it a 4.
Really?
Did we watch the same fucking match?
Are you sure you didn't write down the wrong score for the wrong match?
No.
Did she give reasoning?
Yeah, but I can't be... It's one word, like yeet.
I assume at this point the fever has taken over her brain and she's having a fucking fever dream, half semi-conscious on the lounge, that she dreamt that the match was better than it fucking was.
Well, she did write the score today, but watched the match live yesterday, so hindsight is always 20/20. Looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy.
It's very fucking fuzzy judging by that scorecard.
Well, we'll bring it back to reality here. We've got Corey's score here. So he called it Jim versus Jey. He said, I'm sorry, but this really feels pointless. Jimmy should have eaten Jey in the womb. This match fucking socks.
It does fucking suck.
It's the most boring, shitty, repetitive crap. I actually nearly left the room to go have a smoke. These guys have been shit for a while, and I've stopped giving an all fucks about the Usos. Lil Wayne needs to be shot again.
Shot again.
And he gave it 0.
Yeah.
I thought the match was boring, just super kicks. I think there's been 3 legitimate brother versus brother matches, which was Brett versus Owen at Mania 10, Matt versus Jeff Hardy at Mania whoop-de-fucking-do, and this one.
I can't believe we can't count Undertaker and Kane as a legitimate brother match.
Look, if
Hurts my heart.
If we count them, we've had
4.
2. Taker and Kane have faced twice at WrestleMania. Twice.
No, both
Mania
good.
14 and Mania 20.
14 was better than 20.
Oh, yeah. But those still pretty good matches.
Yeah.
And then you've got Brett and Owen. That was a great match. Then you've got Matt and Jeff, which was crap. And then this has set the bar so goddamn low. It's not funny.
Good.
Oh, you know, just...
I thought the most disappointing part of yesterday was the Eels game, but no, it turned out to be this match. So, congratulations.
I gave it 1.5. So that sums up my thoughts on that. The next match, as I bring the notes back up, next match was the 6-woman tag team match between Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai of Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Naomi, and making her proper debut, Jade Cargill. So they did a whole bunch of shtick, wrestled a match, get to the end. Jade Cargill hits the Jaded on Dakota Kai. Jade, Bianca, and Naomi win. Yay. So we'll go with Corey's notes to start. So women's 3v3. First note, and this is to our esteemed colleague, the Yellow Devil, Shogo. Shogo can fuck off. Kairi is mine. He said, I used to love Dakota Kai till she turned into a $42 hooker.
Yeah.
Because her outfit was a little bit, how you going? Naomi with the Yoshimitsu special outfit unlocked.
That's sad because it's true.
Naomi and the rest of the Funky Bunch clearly just looted the rest of the enemy teams from Fortnite for their outfits. And Jade Cargill is so sick. He gave it 3 out of 5. Beck didn't give me a score, so I'll wait until you guys give me a score, and then I'll just do the law of averages. JB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill looked nice, I guess. 2 out of 5. It was very SmackDown-ish. I could have gone without seeing it. But Jade Cargill, once she is less green, is going to be a fucking player.
But that's a color.
In the championship race. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley is going to be a hell of a fucking match when that happens.
Yeah, but they're currently on separate brands.
When it happens. Let Jade be less green first.
Let it cook.
So, well, my before I go to Shay, my thoughts on the match were, it's nothing special but nothing bad. It was better than the Usos shit.
It was, yeah.
That's not hard to do.
But barely.
For me, this was the equivalent of going to Macca's and buying a cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's very right of the mill, isn't it? No surprises here.
It was just generic.
Through the paces.
Shit, that's a good idea.
What, getting a cheeseburger on the way home?
Or a McFlurry, one of the two.
It could be worse. I mean, our mate Chief, he was over earlier. We got a KFC burger, and he got a KFC burger that had no meat on it. What kind of chicken place serves a burger with no meat on it?
You got a lettuce burger, lettuce and mayo.
I put a chicken nugget on it, just so he had some form of chook on there.
He just wanted the vegetarian option.
Fuck. I gave it 2.5 because I'm just like,
Yeah,
it exists.
there was a match.
Shay?
This match was, very, as Johnny said, SmackDown-ish. It was nothing special. It didn't feel like it deserved to be on a Mania match, to be honest. The Kabuki Warriors are better than that, and it was just very much a showcase for Jade. That's all this match was. And that's okay, not for WrestleMania. Do it on a different pay-per-view. Save Mania for things that fucking matter. I get they want to put Jade in a tag match because she's so green. Fair. Don't do it at Mania. Do it at fucking Backlash. Like, seriously.
Or put it on the pre-show.
Yeah, put it on the pre-show. There you go. That match deserved to be on the pre-show. It did not deserve to be on the main card. There is much better matches and people that they could have given more time to instead of that. Jade looked fucking amazing. That's pretty much all that gets out of it, and I'm giving it 2 stars just because of Jade. That's it.
Well, there was something else I forgot to mention too. So, Asuka is carrying an injury. Dakota Kai is coming back from an injury. And really the match was designed to put Jade Cargill over.
Yep.
And obviously you've picked 3 experienced hands to be able to get Jade Cargill over. I felt kind of sorry for Kairi Sane getting the shit smacked out of her by Jade Cargill because she is rather stiff. But, and Law of Averages says that we'll give this 2 from Beck.
I don't know. Her scoring's been as wonky as a corrupt boxing judge.
As wonky as old mate that fought Tim Zhu on the weekend's nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we get to change gears. The next match is for the Intercontinental Championship between Gunther Steiner and his fuckdoor. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. And after Sami Zayn took a flogging, it was a flogging.
Guy got his ass whipped.
Sami hit 2 haluva kicks, and Sami wins and is the new Intercontinental Champion. So, we go with Corey's notes first. So, Gunther versus Sami. He said the Uber Nazi is a powerful vibe for a character.
Yes, it is.
He refers to him as a Zangief-looking motherfucker.
I mean, yeah. Less hairy, but yeah.
He said the world's hairiest versus the world's smoothest. Is the shaved Nazi not a sex thing? Germany would have won the war if Hitler had stopped throwing chops to the chest for half the match. And should have taken that sad cow of a wife Sami Zayn has and given her a couple of chops.
Oh,
wow.
I thought she was quite pretty. But he gives it 3 out of 5.
Jesus.
fucking savage.
Wow.
Yeah, don't sugarcoat it, mate. Tell us how you really feel. Shay, bounce us back from that.
How am I meant to come back from that?
I
Fucking
don't
hell.
know.
I mean, the match was solid. Like, first things first, the entrance of Sami, perfectly done. They've been trying this new follow them from the backstage or from the front of the stage going to the back. This worked really well when he was going out to Gorilla and you're seeing KO there. Perfect way of doing that, and it made this match feel a lot more.
Well, they actually used to do it in the 90s. Like Mania 13, they had a camera following Bret Hart and Steve Austin all the way up to Gorilla. Same with Mania 14. They had a camera backstage following Austin. And they had a camera following DX because Triple H flips the bird on the camera. But they don't show Taker in gorilla position strapping up his fists in case Shawn doesn't want to do the job. To which funny thing, so Shawn was asked in a shoot interview if he knew about it. And he's like, I've heard rumors about it, so I've asked Taker. And Taker's like, no, I wasn't doing that. And then I've seen shoot interviews with Taker, and Taker's gone, yeah, I lied to Shawn. I was doing it in case he didn't do the job. I was going to kick his ass. Yeah, he was not making it out there alive unless he dropped that belt to Austin. So, yeah.
But, yeah, the first part of that match... Oh, sorry, the first part, even before the match started, was a really nice touch for that, and it made it feel a lot more important. And really helped with the underdog feel that Sammy has, which he does it perfectly. He's one of the best at doing it in the company, of having that underdog type feel. Just look at his feud with Reigns. I mean, the actual match itself was Jesus Christ. Holy shit, did Sammy take a beating. It was absolutely brutal. Gunther is incredible at what he does. Shame he had to drop the title, but to drop it to someone like Sammy made that feel all the better. I give this one a 4. It's very, very well done.
JB?
Yeah, solid match. Yeah, I mean, Sammy, as the underdog, paid his fucking dues in this match. Got whipped like a government mule, as JR would say, and then came out on top in a good underdog story. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match too.
Bec gave it a 3.5. Now, my thoughts. There was so much drama in this match. Like, in a good way. It was a really great storytelling match. There was great chemistry between Sami Zayn and Gunther. The only blemish on it was Gunther taunting his wife. Which, whenever they do that, I always sit there and think, he's going to lose.
Mm.
But I gave it 4.5. I thought it was a really good match. And then we get to the final match of night 1, which is the final boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and Seth freaking Rollins. So, towards the end of the match, Cody actually hits a rock bottom on The Rock and puts him through the commentary table. Then Roman spears Rollins through the barricade. Rock hits... Rock starts whipping Cody with the strap. And Roman spears Cody. Rock hits the rock bottom on Cody. And then The Rock hits the people's elbow on Cody. The Rock and Roman Reigns win via pinfall, which means the main event of night 2 will be contested under Bloodline rules. JB.
Fucking awesome match. How good did The Rock look?
Yeah.
He's fucking jacked and he can still go in the ring. Yeah, everything you wanted. Everything you wanted. Emotional, physical, fucking everything. Rock looked great. Roman looked good. Seth, for all he did, if he did injure his knee in that match, carried all the way through. It was really, really good. And it gave night 2 that sense of dread at the end, knowing that Cody's now going to go into the main event under Bloodline rules because The Rock pinned him. Fantastic. 4 out of 5.
Shay?
I very much enjoyed this match as well, which, quite a few good ones in a row there, which is nice. But this match definitely was an amazing setup for night 2. The Rock can most certainly still go, and you could tell that he's been training and working out the whole entire time before. Reigns is, it's Roman. He's always good. Always good with his, the way that he acts in the ring as well was quite nice. The fact that they actually utilized The Rock being their boss, being on the actual board, was an incredible touch. And I have a feeling it was an audible that they called, as we were discussing before. when he said to the ref, count us out and you're fucking fired, was a really nice little touch to the story of the ring. And The Rock is one of the best when it comes to telling a story in the ring as well. He knows the crowd, he knows how to work with them properly, and utilize that perfectly. Seth was probably the weakest part of this whole entire match. He was very much, he had his moments, but he had the weakest moments of the bunch.
He was wrestling hurt, man.
Yeah, you could tell that he wasn't 100% there. But the outside part with The Rock and Cody was a pretty cool little hardcore nod. Reminds me of the old hardcore days with fucking WrestleMania 17 with Raven, Kane, and Big Show.
Oh, when they crashed the golf cart and nearly cut the power to the entire building.
Hey, we got a golf cart.
True that.
But it was a really, really entertaining this match too. I quite enjoyed it. I'll give this one a 4.5. It was the best match of the night, and as it should be.
What are you giving it?
4.5.
4.5. All right. Bec gave it a 4.5 as well. Then we get to Cory. Plastic Massacre. He titled this one as Pebble versus Platinum Blonde Ken Doll. What the fuck is Seth Rollins in? Seth Rollins in Memoirs of a Geisha. The Rock adding want to his resume. Roman Reigns with the garlic knots around his neck in case of vampires. Codes Rhodes is literally beating up a guy with leukemia.
Who's the real victim here? Who's the real monster?
This final boss shit makes me wish we had lost to the Russians.
Wow.
They're fucking walking home. 2 nice little excursions. His leukemia education is escaping. Mama Rhodes uses bad language. He said you could cut about 20 minutes out, but it was a pretty alright match in parts. And gave it 3 out of 5. Me. Right. I thought it was great drama. Great storytelling. This match to me felt like a tag team match from the Attitude Era. Yeah, those old school Attitude. It might have been like the main event of a Raw or whatever, but it still felt like an Attitude Era throwback, which I loved.
Probably have The Rock to thank for that.
It was a solid main event. If I could only change one thing about it, I would swap out Seth Rollins for either John Cena or Steve Austin. And have it so it's someone from Rock's past that's teaming up with Cody Rhodes. That's the only blemish on it. It also would have been easier on Seth Rollins because of his knee, but it does play into what happens on night 2 as well. So
we'll get to that.
But I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was a really great way to finish off a really great day 1 of WrestleMania.
One shout out that I'd like to put out there too is the commentary team was fucking on fire both nights. Pat McAfee is a godsend. So fucking good.
And you know what's funny? Is night 2 it got even better.
Yeah.
Shout out to holy fuck, Roman Reigns was in shape for this.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him with abs like that, I don't think, ever.
And The Rock as well.
The Rock was, but The Rock's been jacked for ages, but Roman Reigns has always had like that. Like, sort of like a gut, sort of like a fighter gut.
He's had a wrestler's body.
Yeah.
Whereas
but tonight we was fucking jacked. His 6-pack was so defined.
Give me some juice, brother.
He was fucking whatever the fuck. It was the last time we see him for a while.
Yeah.
Holy.
Right, so now we get to night 2. Night 2 of WrestleMania, and it opens with the World Heavyweight title match between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre.
Actually, it started with the American National Anthem. No.
Started with America the Beautiful by that guy wearing all the roses.
Which we muted.
Oh, the war and the treaty did it.
The legal amount of roses a man can wear at one time is 3. We figured that out.
Right, so over the course of the match... Well, I mean, the match opened with Drew smashing a claymore into his head.
A Claymore kick straight up 3 seconds into the match.
It felt like Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Thank God it didn't go that way, though. But eventually, towards the end, though, after these two smack the shit out of each other, Drew hits a very savage Claymore kick, gets the pin, gets the win. And Seth applauds him, says, you deserve it, good luck in the future. And this match also had CM Punk on commentary, who's had a bit of a rivalry with Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre, thinking that CM Punk is still injured, goes over and starts taunting him. Unfortunately, CM Punk starts fighting back and takes the arm brace off and attacks him with it. And then Damian Priest comes down and cashes in Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And he wins it. So Damian Priest is now your new World Heavyweight Champion. And Judgment Day now have both the women and men's world titles.
Yep.
So I'm going to go first with this one. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a perfect length. It didn't outstay its welcome. It did what was written on the tin. Did what it was supposed to. It was a great finish. And props to CM Punk for his commentary. Because he is really good on the mic. And him and McAfee bounced off each other really well. I gave the match a 4.5. Then we get Corey's notes. So Drew versus. He says, Alexa, turn off shitty fucking hologram. Seth needs to be stopped. What the fuck is that attire? I like Drew McIntyre, but he does kind of look like groundskeeper Willie. Literally, first match of the night, and the announcer's table is getting its thorough pounding.
That thing didn't break.
Damien Predlocks Priest was pretty funny as quick shock. He gave it 3 out of 5. Beck gave it a 3. JB.
Good match. Solid match. Drew and Seth beat the shit out of each other. And, yeah, Damian Priest cashing in at the end was a good shock. 3.5 out of 5. Good match.
Shay?
This match is pretty good. As you said, it was not too long, not too short. Nice little length. I did predict Seth losing the title. It was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to come out the winner here. It was a good nod that from Seth to Drew saying, you deserve it. And Seth getting really emotional there too, as well as later on in the night. Definitely seems like he's probably not going to come back for a while. If at all. Hopefully he does come back after a while. It's not a permanent thing. But it was quite nice, and the shock got a pop out of me. I wasn't expecting him to come out, Priest to come out and cash it in, but I'm glad he did, because he deserves to have a title shot finally, and he's one of the few people that have actually cashed it in at Mania. Yeah. Funnily enough, he cashed it in on Seth and Drew, so... Yeah. Well, Drew to be exact, but close enough. But I'll give this a 4. It was quite nice.
All right. The next match was the 6-man street fight between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and the final judgment, which was Karrion Kross and the AOP.
2 guest people.
And you had Snoop Dogg on commentary.
Yep.
And you had special guest referee, ECW legend and WWE Hall of Famer Bubba Ray Dudley. That was a nice surprise.
And if you're in Philly, may as well.
Yeah, well, it is ECW country. Towards the end of the match, they did have a bit of a botch with a table that spontaneously broke.
As a reverse, I'm the table.
But they got another table out, set it up. Oh, they also did the what's up that Bubba Ray Dudley joined in with. It was a shame Devon wasn't out there, but Yeah.
Hey, they replaced it with another black guy.
3.
In which they all did it.
Yeah. But they set him up on a table. Montez Ford did his massive 5-star frog splash thingy. And on Karrion Kross, pinned him, won the match. So we'll go with Corey's notes. Keep the humour going. He called it the Philly Cheeses fight. Bubba Ray Dudley guest reffin'. Snoop Dogg hot on the mic. 13-year-old me would be pissing his pants. Crime Time would be rolling in their grave. This feels like a race war. Snoop Dogg is having the best fucking time.
He was.
3 white men beating a black guy with kendo sticks. Bro, this match was pretty great, and he gave it 4 out of 5. JB?
This match was awesome. This was fucking chaos from the ring to the announce table. Snoop on commentary, Bubba Ray in the stripes, and then 6 dudes just throwing the fucking anything they could find at each other, most of which was kendo sticks and tables.
Yeah, ARP literally disintegrated 2 kendo sticks on people.
Fucking sick. That was Attitude Era style. That was fucking cool. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. It was fucking fun chaos.
Shay?
Yeah, I agree with JB. This match was just fun. It's just silly fun, and they used hardcore the way it should be, like a street fight the way it should be, is just don't overdo it with the weapons, but use the shit out of them. Yeah. They literally disintegrated kendo sticks, which I haven't seen before, which was funny to watch. They utilized the women in this match quite well, even though they weren't technically a part of the match. They put them through fucking tables.
Yeah, because she did the side Russian leg sweep with Scarlett through a table.
Yeah,
and
which
then
she
Scarlett
like she fucking died.
Yeah, Scarlett just corpsed for the rest of the match.
But yeah, it was like super entertaining. Karrion was probably the weakest part of that match because he didn't really do too much. Like he whipped him a bit, but he didn't really get any offense in at all. Montez is fucking one of my favorite wrestlers. He is hilarious. His body language is funny as fuck, and he flies like no one else in the fucking roster. Him nearly overshooting the fucking barricade was hilarious. That angle was amazing from the corner angle down. I'll give this a 4.5. Fucking great match.
Beck didn't give us a score, so I'm just going to give it a 4. There we go. And I'm giving it a 4 as well. Snoop Dogg was great on commentary. Much like CM Punk, it was just that X factor. Yeah, this guy could say anything, and because he doesn't have Vince McMahon in his ear telling him what to say, he can just spit out whatever the fuck he wants, and it doesn't fucking matter.
I also feel like a gin and juice now.
Yeah, you look like a gin and juice now. It was short but sweet, like it didn't outstay its welcome again. Great homages to the Dudley Boys and ECW, and the crowd made sure they knew it. It was a fun match. To your point, yeah, I agree. Karrion Kross was probably the weakest link, or the most underutilized link. But you could also say an argument for Bobby Lashley as well. So
true.
I honestly would have liked it if they'd kept it as a AOP versus Street Profits.
Yeah.
And then had Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross in a match of their own.
Yep. Yeah, replace the match of night 1 with that. Replace Jimmy and Jay. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. But I gave it a 4. I thought it was a great match. All right, moving right along. So the next match is AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
After a really solid match, like AJ Styles was working snug in this match. Like he didn't pull his punches much. LA Knight did hit the BFT. I keep wanting to call his finisher the BLT.
You hungry?
No. LA Knight wins the match. So we'll go with JB. What were your thoughts on the match, JB?
It was good. Good chemistry. Like both boys can go. Physical enough. A fair bit of bad blood between the two, and you could tell. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. 3.5 out of 5.
Shay?
Pretty decent match as well. The build up to this was quite nice, where they were just beating the shit out of each other everywhere, including at AJ's house, pulling a fucking Randy Orton and Triple H. But it was just them beating the shit out of each other, really. Nothing fancy about it. You know, AJ trying to go high flyer all the time and paying for it as usual, and LA Knight getting the win. It was quite nice to see him get a win at WrestleMania. Who knows? Maybe it should be for a title soon. In my opinion, it should be, because he's still really fucking over with the crowd.
This match made me want a Slim Jim, though.
Never had one.
Yeah, me either.
Just like a Twiggy stick.
It's just like it's like one of those fucking those things you get at
the little pepperoni sticks.
Yeah, the little pepperoni sticks you get from the butchers.
Just spicy, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And full of way more chemicals.
And preservatives.
Yeah.
And Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll give it a 3.5. It was pretty entertaining.
All right, well, Bec gave it a 3.5. She didn't realise it, but she gave it a 3.5. Cory. So he titled this as AJ versus PS2 game. Slimothy Jimothy advertising. Genuine question for you boys. Wasn't AJ on top of the WWE world? Why is he kind of in the back now? Doesn't seem to be doing as well.
Because he's getting old.
He's starting to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
But he's more jacked than what he was before.
But he has turned heel, so they are trying to re-establish him as a heel. So, yeah. I think these guys gave a pretty good match, but I just don't care about either of them, sadly, which kind of made it a bit dull, and he gave it 3 out of 5. I gave it 4 out of 5. I thought it was a solid match. It was great chemistry, and I didn't have any issues with the match. It was solid and hard-hitting, so I gave it a 4. All right, next match. United States Championship match between Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. With Logan Paul coming out for his entrance on top of a gun, a truck that had a
gun.
Yeah, that didn't do much. And then KO come out and drove... Oh, his video was a replica of the ECW logo. And then he drove a golf cart all the way down. And then Randy Orton started coming out, so he reversed it and gave Randy Orton a lift down to the ring.
Which he nearly fucking crashed it.
He nearly crashed it. But after a whole bunch of shenanigans and some funny shit, Logan Paul hit a frog splash and Logan Paul won the match. So I'm going to go first. Maybe it went for a little bit too long. Just a tad. And I'm sorry, but the prime bottle interference gag is starting to get annoying.
We all knew it was going to happen.
But other than that, it was a solid match and it had lots of funny moments. I gave it a 4. JB, you want to go?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, Logan Paul once again showing that he can wrestle. Randy and KO did that bit, teaming up the start, and then eventually it break into a proper triple threat match. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good match. I think the most surprising part was that Logan actually retained the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a shock finish. 3.5 out of 5 for me.
I was pretty well entertained by this match as well, as with most matches on this Mania card. Yeah, Logan proving that he takes this seriously, even though he's a prick of a person. He takes the build, takes the matches seriously, and actually works, which is good to see. Orton and KO, I love both of these guys. Orton just looks like he's having a good time now. KO is always a bunch of fun. And the shenanigans those two get up to, I'd love to see them as a tag team. You put those in the tag team division and they will do really well. It reminds me of Orton and fucking...
Matt Riddle.
It reminds me of those two where they're just fucking around and having a good time.
I think KO, Orton, and Sami Zayn, if they had a trios title...
Perfect combo.
They would be awesome together.
Yep. Yeah, it was thoroughly entertaining. Like, they had the shenanigans with the fucking brass knucks. And then Orton actually giving the knucks to the ref. And then lining up a punt. If he actually followed through with that and retained, I would have been happy. a good touch with this was also the entrance, was the reverse. That KO, when he came out, Sami Zayn there with his title, saying, you know, it's your turn. That would have been a perfect opportunity to give KO the US title. That would have been just like a nice little fairy tale finish. I would have preferred that, but they went with a shock finish instead, which is fair because Logan is the fucking, you know, prime sponsorship with the company right now, so they probably don't want him to drop it just yet because he's giving them free advertising to all of his followers. That's probably the business decision there, which is fair. I'll give it a 3.5. It's pretty solid.
Bec gave it a 4. And Cory, so he called this Logan versus Kevin versus G.I. Joe. He said, the dancing prime bottles fucking sent me laughing. The KO mobile fucking killed me, ha ha ha. He said, the prime bottles is definitely going to interest the match, right? Yeah.
Eventually it does.
It's so cool to see both the melted army man and the school shooter coming together to defeat the popular kid at school. He's got in commas, that's a wobbly viper. I show speed wasn't even a thought in my mind, and then he appeared. And he said the funniest thing was the crowd chanting Gatorade. He gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Right, moving along. WWE Women's Championship match is next between Io Sky and Bayley. And after a long amount of fucking about, and Io Sky managing to counter out of the Rose Plant, Bayley hits the Rose Plant. Bayley wins and is the new WWE Women's Champion. Cory, Women's Championship. So his first words here are, Bayley, fuck off. Sick costume, though. Io Sky looks like she fell into the scrap bin at Spotlight. A lot of knee stuff in this pay-per-view. Did anyone else see the ring advertising for dude wipes during the Women's Championship match? Bayley looks like an emo beaver. Dude, Io Sky is trash at wrestling. Whoa, that's a big call. Jesus Christ, this match is boring. This match fucking sucked. As much as I shit on Bayley, she goes all right, and quite frankly, this was a just dreck. It took forever, and there wasn't much going on, and Io Sky wrestles as well as two raccoons strapped to a washing line.
Get out.
I've got to read this. He gave it 1 out of 5.
I did not like it.
Oh. Bec gave it 3.5 out of 5. Because Io Sky can scream. I committed that one to memory. JB.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3.5 because Bayley's a hot PE teacher. But it was fucking slow. This match was fucking slow.
Agreed.
I was clock watching just because I knew the match after this was the one that everyone's been fucking waiting for. This was like when you're waiting to go on lunch and there's like 15 minutes left. This is sort of what this match was, just like fucking wasting time. It just felt slow and there really wasn't much going on. Yeah, correct. It didn't feel very emotional. Yeah.
Shay?
Yeah, like, the build for it was not bad with Bayley and Damage Control. I just couldn't get into it, really. Like, Bayley her entrance is cool, and I'm sad that she didn't have her old entrance back.
Yeah, with the huggers.
The huggers. I want to see that come back, now that she has face.
Yeah.
Good enough for getting the win, though. Bayley deserves the title back, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not sure who or what she's going to face. Maybe Jade? Maybe they pull the trigger on that? But I can't really see what's going to happen after that in the women's division. It hasn't been really that entertaining. At least the Bailey stuff sort of made it decent to watch, but it really fell flat. It was definitely the weakest match of the card by quite a margin. I'll give it a 2.5.
Well, I gave it 3.5. The match went for too long.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, like, I was dozing off.
Literally, can confirm.
Yeah, can confirm. There were snoring noises from the middle.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long day. It's been a long few days for me, sorry.
Fucking long day. It's been a long night.
But it was a solid match, and they do have really good chemistry, but it just felt like stuff was happening to soak up time. It was a sponge match. Not in the way you're thinking, JB.
Well, I didn't need dude wipes for this one. Even though it was hinted subliminally that I did.
HLA.
He needed the dude wipes when Stephanie came out at the start of the night too.
Fuck, she's looking good for her age.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So's Trish Stratus and Lita.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I gave it 3.5. And then finally, we get to the main event. The match we've been waiting a year for.
A year and 2 nights.
Yes. For the WWE. They call it the WWE Undisputed Championship now, even though there's a World Heavyweight title on the other end, which means it's under dispute. But the WWE Championship. And it's contested under Bloodline rules. The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, towards the end of the match, because it was Bloodline rules, anything goes. Jimmy Uso interferes in the match.
Which we all seen that coming.
Then Jey Uso comes out and fights Jimmy up the ramp and then spears him off the ramp into a table.
Already better than the match.
That one moment was better than their entire match on night one.
Yeah.
Redeemed, boys. Well done.
Then Solo Sikoa comes out and beats the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
And Samoan
Spikes him out the 2 crossroads like he did last year.
Yep, exact same way as last year.
It looked exactly the same as last year.
And then Solo is yelling at Roman to finish his story, and he gives him a spear and a Samoan spike at the same time. Then John Cena comes out and fights off Solo Sikoa and AAs him through the announce table.
Which the crowd fucking loses their mind.
Then the final boss, The Rock, he comes out, and him and John Cena have a bit of a confrontation, and then he immediately rock bottoms John Cena. Then it starts playing the Shield's music. And Seth Rollins makes it to the ring but gets Superman punched by Roman Reigns.
In full Shield gear.
In full Shield gear.
With a steel chair in hand.
And then the gong hits. And the place goes black. And then the Undertaker appears and chokeslams The Rock. And then him and The Rock both disappear.
It goes black again and they disappear.
Yeah.
With just the belt in the ring.
Yeah. But eventually Cody lands triple crossroads. Cody Rhodes gets the pinfall, the win, and is the new WWE champ.
Wait, there was one thing that happened in between that you forgot that was pretty integral. Was the moment where Seth was getting up.
Oh, yeah, Seth was getting up and Roman smashed him in the back with a chair.
He had the decision there of either hitting Cody or getting back at Seth, and he chose to get back at Seth.
Yeah, he did plan B.
Yep, and that cost him.
Yep. So, we'll go with Corey's notes. We'll finish off Corey's notes here. So, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. He said, his Homeland-style suit is so sick. The epic slow pan back ruined by the finger twice. Haha. I just saw a hand under the ring. Let's see who it is. It's fucking Jey Uso and I want to kill myself. It was actually Jimmy Uso. And whatever that big... I've got to bleep this. Whatever that big C-nut is... That's Solo Sikoa, mate. Bring back Teddy Long. And then he goes, Cena! And The Rock again. Taker! Do they have to add so much wank? You know how much I would enjoy if one of these fucking matches went for 10 to 15 minutes and they did cool shit and then called it. Rather than 20 minutes of horsing around bullshit, taking little trips, laying around. Just get it done. That was a lot of fun after all that wank. And he's given it 4 out of 5. Bec gave it a 5 out of 5. JB, we'll go with you.
Well,
What do you got?
1,316 days later,
The dream is over.
the dream is over.
At least his title reigns days are legit. Unlike Goldberg's streak in WCW, where in a case of a week he managed to go up 20, not 20
You don't know he
numbers.
wasn't just spearing jobbers in the back all week?
And he didn't work house shows.
You didn't know he was spearing jobbers in the back all week? No one does.
He was pinning lockers.
He was beating people in the shower like
Hey.
that one time he bashed Kevin Nash in the shower.
Punching windows.
Yeah, punching limo windows.
Killing Bret Hart's career.
Headbutting doors.
So many brain cells Bret Hart lost in his kick.
That was another streak.
No. Fucking amazing. What fuck? This is cinema. This is long-term storytelling. Everything fucking professional wrestling was and can still be. It's fucking, even though Roman lost, like, it was the Avengers Endgame of fucking professional wrestling storytelling. All the good guys came out to help beat all the bad guys. And there was an Avengers Endgame poster on Twitter at some point where Roman Reigns is Thanos on the knees and Cody Rhodes is standing over him. And that's exactly what this was, and that's exactly what this felt like. And it was fucking amazing. 5 out of 5.
Shay?
I agree with Johnny here. 5 out of 5. This match was a perfect example of long-term storytelling and what WWE is capable of when they're running at their fullest potential. Like, you can't get much bigger than a 2-year build for a match that they didn't really originally go for. It was originally going to be The Rock and Roman, but because the crowd interaction, they flipped it and ended up having Cody v Roman Part 2. And they turned that into one of the best storylines of the decade, easily. This, like, even the commentary team, right at the end, after Cody won, Cole was actually emotional, which you don't see a lot of. The fact that he said, I love professional wrestling, live, like, on air, and they haven't used that word in WWE in a long, long time. And it was just a really cool way of bringing the nostalgia, bringing in the current era, and then putting it all into one. And then, you know, when the Shields music came out, I for a split second thought it was going to be Mox coming out, because that would have been the cherry on top for this whole thing if he actually was able to do it. Obviously not, because AEW, but if that happened, that would have been the perfect way to put the cherry on top of that.
Yeah, well, you gave it a 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when John Cena's music hit and he came out, I was just like, holy shit, it's John Cena. But, you know, it's also, he's been a victim of the bloodline.
Yeah.
When the Shield music hit, I was just like, oh my god, please tell me they got Mox for just one goddamn night. And it was just Seth Rollins. And I did get a little bit bummed out, because I'm like, just Tony Khan, just do it. You know, stop being a dickhead on Twitter and just let this happen. You know, I'm sure WWE will pay you back in kind, you know. And then, like, The Rock comes out. I honestly thought The Rock was going to turn on Roman. I honestly thought he was going to do that and set up, like, a match for either SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year. Then Taker comes out. Now, Taker was a strange one for me. Like, I know it's Taker, and I mean, like, fuck, I've met the man. I've actually met the Undertaker, and he is fucking scary to meet, you know, particularly when you're a fanboy like me. His role in this sort of lost me a little bit, because I kind of thought that Austin coming out would have been a better fit. Yeah, Austin doing his BMF walk all the way down and just stunning Rock, you know, because that was the entire Attitude Era. Was everyone says, oh, it's, you know, Austin versus McMahon. It was Austin and Rock and Triple H. That was the entire Attitude Era, and that would have been an awesome throwback. Even if it was Triple H who came out and pedigreed Rock, that would have made even more sense as well.
Absolutely, with The Rock and Triple H's history.
That's right. But Taker coming out and chokeslamming The Rock, and then The Rock just disappearing when the lights came back on, was still cool.
Yeah.
For me, this match and this entire storyline is the culmination of Triple H, Cody Rhodes, and his wrestling intellect that he got from his old man.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Pritchard, Paul Heyman. I mean, Paul Heyman is a mad genius as well.
Brains himself.
Yeah. So you take all those brains,
The
Rock, and the ability for the company to realize that they fucked up with the main event by making it Roman versus Rock, and the crowd saying, no, we want Cody to finish the story. By changing that and listening to the crowd, they've ended up with such a better main event and a perfect way of finishing the 40th WrestleMania that it's just perfect. And like you said, JB, this was an Avengers Endgame WrestleMania moment.
Yeah. It was fucking literal cinema.
Yes. And it was perfect. The entire match was perfect. I know I might have dozed off a little bit, but I mean, it's just been a really long fucking day. It wasn't the match. And I gave it 5.
And that was the thing with the match, too. It wasn't too long. They didn't drag their shit out, too. Because,
No.
you know, Roman's moveset, yeah, it can get a bit boring at times, but they did that perfectly. It wasn't just repeat. They had that interference there to put that match and make it feel a lot more special, which is perfect.
And the thing was, I had a look with the mouse on the timeline, and when that match ended, there was still half an hour left on the show, and I was like, something's amiss here. But no, the last half an hour is just all the highlights. You know, but it was a perfect match, perfect ending for a story. Now we got to see where they go from here.
Mm.
You know, where do we go from here?
And the Raw after Mania is always fun to watch.
Oh, the crowd always hijacks it, and they're still in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Cheese graters. How many cheese graters are we going to give this show? So, Corey said he's given it 4. 4 cheese graters out of 5. Shay?
I'll give this a 5 cheese graters out of 5. Yeah, there was a few shit matches, but there were so many good quality matches on here, and the overlaying storyline of Cody and the Bloodline, absolutely perfect. This is one of the best Manias that I've seen.
JB?
I'm giving it 4 out of 5 as well. I mean, it can't be the perfect WrestleMania because there's too many shit matches in it.
It wasn't that many.
But it was fucking close.
Hang on, was that a 4?
That was a 4.
4, okay.
But it was close.
Same with you?
I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Or, actually, 4.5. Scratch it.
Lucky I asked. Alright, and we'll get back to give it a 4 because she didn't give me a cheese grater score. So she's in a fever dream. For me, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. That was an amazing show. 2 days of action-packed. This is why I'm exhausted, because, I mean, we had a pretty good Japanese F1 race straight after night 1. Plus, I played a pretty damn good gig on Saturday night.
Yeah.
This whole weekend has just been jam-packed with just balls to the wall action, and then I had to go back to work today. So I'm really keen to see where they go from here.
It's a new era, as they've been saying.
And the other thing is going to be interesting to see how AEW reacts.
Mm.
How are they going to react to this?
They did refer to them a lot tonight as well.
Well, even in
Cody
the
stuff.
hype package for the main event, they showed photos of Cody Rhodes with the Young Bucks
And
and
Kenny.
Kenny and
Jericho.
So they're not above acknowledging that he did go and start AEW.
Yeah, it's not like before when any other company didn't exist.
Yeah. You know.
And I think that's all Trips there because of that.
Yeah. I think Trips is trying to be inclusive of wrestling because he sees it as... He's doing the opposite of Vince. Vince was trying to buy everything out and make it just him. So then he could slap any old shit on it on HD camera and everyone will like it. And it's a comment about online wrestling that I saw yesterday as some half-wit rides a motorbike really fast outside. That
AEW's response is Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes.
Joy.
That is their literal response.
And a mock video from the Young Bucks about what happened backstage at All In between CM Punk and Jack Perry.
Ooh, that's bad.
Apparently, that's not a mock one. They're going to reveal the actual one. But I haven't seen it yet, so if that's the actual video that they're releasing, Punk might not be too happy with that.
I don't think they'll
But
release
I think it's a spoof.
Yeah. Particularly since the Young Bucks releasing it.
Yeah.
But I saw a thing with it, and I'm going to keep this really quick. I read a thing where they were explaining how AEW was born because of how bad WWE had gotten. But now that WWE's a lot better, it's almost like we don't kind of need AEW anymore. And it's a strange dichotomy. But AEW certainly has to step up now.
They do have their own type of audience. They're kind of like your diehard wrestling fans.
It's very WCW.
It very much is. Which it doesn't have all the bad things from WCW. They actually pulled their head in.
Yeah, they haven't hired Vince Russo, but their
Exactly.
boss is still an Eric Bischoff type who likes to pick fights with Eric Bischoff on Twitter.
Which is fucking hilarious.
You
But
know?
they do have some really, really fucking good talent over there. One being Mr. William Ospreay, of course. Being, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers of this generation. And
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and Claudio Castagnoli.
Yep.
And
List goes on.
yeah, but yeah, they've got some issues over there. Swerve Strickland as well.
Yeah, that
But-
dude is fucking nuts.
But then they also signed guys like Andrade, Keith Lee.
Which had a cameo in on Mania.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's married to Mia Yim, Minchin. Miro, like talent that they've got from WWE because they were so disgruntled in WWE, and they go over there and they're just completely wasted even more.
Yeah, they do nothing.
To
Absolutely
the, to the point where they're sitting there going, "Gee, I wish I was working under Vince McMahon again because fuck this." But yeah, so that's our WrestleMania review, and this is episode 30. But what's even cooler is this is going to actually be the first episode that goes up on Spotify
Hey, Spotify.
under the name "Stop the Damn Match."
We're on.
Yeah.
We own.
We own.
So, yeah, this might be also the last one where all of us are in the same room at the same time because JB's got a new job.
For a while, it won't be as bad as the F1 chat. That's going to suffer. That's going to be tricky.
It's gonna be
This one, I'm back every 2 weeks.
Eh.
I'm missing every 2 weeks, so I'm not back for every pay-per-view, but I'll be
Every
back for every
second.
fucking second pay-per-view.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So, yeah, that we're going to be on Spotify now, and we're also going to be up on YouTube. So, We're spreading our wings a little bit. We're spreading our demon seed.
Well, I'm
If it needs
driving
to
my
it.
big dump truck in a circle out at Howe Creek. I can listen to our podcast when it goes up on Spotify.
You
Download
poor
it.
motherfucker.
Yeah, well, look, you got to entertain myself somehow.
There's only so much porn I can look at.
There's only so many times I can just listen to the same thing. Driving in a
There's
circle.
only so many photos of Bailey to look at. Right. On behalf of Bec, Cory, Shay, JB, and myself,
And sugar.
thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And until next episode, it is goodbye, and say hi to your mum for me. Bye.